So, I know there's still people coming in, but I'm going to ask the registration people if you can bring forward the bucket of tickets. Sorry to the latecomers. Yeah, you probably won't get your ticket in the bucket. But otherwise, whatever tickets are in the bucket, can you please bring them forward? And hopefully this will encourage us to come on time, or to come early. Okay, so we're going to bring that forward, and we're going to have a little draw here. All right, last call, last call. All right.
There are some sad individuals out there who just
Didn't make the cut. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. The first draw is for a gift card to Walmart. And I'm just going to swish my hand around here. And I have a yellow ticket. Okay, look at your number. 1, 9, 9, 6, 3, 7, 7.
Oh!
All right. You get the first gift card for Walmart. $500. Minus 2 zeros. All right. Next one. Someone say stop. Number 119, 113, 1. Is that someone's?
Here.
All right. Our youngest winner for today. You get this PC gift card. There you go. Thank you so much. Now we have 2 more things to give away. We have a nice book related to our seminar and another gift card, but I'm going to call up Walter, our speaker, to lead us out in that. And then you can take it from here.
Good morning, everyone. How are you doing? My name is Walter. I'm from UBC, and we're going to kind of play some games as part of the seminar. Go to some games here in a second. First, I just want to introduce my family. If you weren't here last night, of course, that's my ugly mug on the top right. There's my beautiful wife, Sarah, who is seated right over here with my 4 kids, and there in the green shirts, my favorite teenager, Clayton. He's a big Tolkien fan and a future Lego engineer. Down here is Kodiak in the bottom middle. He loves to dirt bike. He's a little wild man, adventure man. There's Christopher, loves waking up early in the morning. Also loves Legos. I have to move Legos out of our RV and put them somewhere else so my kids can focus on their chores or homework. And then there's my little princess Kalea, and she specifically really likes Hawaii. Is that right, Kalea? Yes. And she's an extrovert. So about a year ago, we quit our full-time job in British Columbia, moved our family into this motorhome. So if you ask me where I live in the church parking lot, okay? So that's our new home. All 6 of us live in there. We travel around North America. Next we're on our way to Europe, and then we're going to be in South America this winter talking about evidence for God. And we really love to do this. We love the science, the history, love kind of taking on the biggest questions and the toughest doubts that people struggle with and going over those one by one. So if you have some questions or doubts or things that just don't make sense to you, let's talk about them this seminar, okay? We have a couple of weeks here together. And the first thing, though, is let's have some fun. You were here last night. We shared the story of myself and my brother. That's my brother William, and I'm Walter. And growing up, we were Willie and Wally. And right now, we are going to switch over to Kahoot. So pull out your smartphones. Instead of being distracted by them, we're actually going to use them here. And I'm going to go over to my Kahoot game, and right here we go. We're going to start this. And it is thinking.
It is still thinking. Go to Kahoot.it. There we go. All right, go to Kahoot.it, and if you win this game, I have a book for you, okay? Reason for God by Timothy Keller. We're talking about evidence and reason, logic, philosophy, etc. This seminar, and so this is, we're going to go over, though before we get to that, I'm going to go over the experience of myself and my brothers. So right here, enter in the pin up there, go to Kahoot.it, enter in that number 473474. Super easy to remember. And on each slide, we'll be going over some questions, and on your screen, there'll be 4 answers potential, okay? I'm going to open it up and join you guys. All right. 473474. Enter. And does anybody here not have a smartphone? Kodiak, you want to play? All right, Kodiak will share with you. Right there. Now I'm going to warn you, my kids are pretty good at this. And just going to make sure there's no, inappropriate names there. We're good, okay? Got to watch that sometimes. And because I can cancel you if you put something up there. All right, we have a lot of people, though. I maxed out at 200. So we're going to be getting close here. Let's see, is anybody not on yet? Just say, help me. Preferably start singing, help me. Help, I need somebody. All right, everyone's good? Say, I'm good.
Help me.
I heard a help me, okay? 10 more seconds. Again, go to Kahoot.it. The address is right up there. Kahoot.it. And just enter in that number. All right. Is everybody ready? Say help me or say I'm good. 1, 2, 3.
I'm good.
I'm still hearing help me. Is that the tech guys in the back? You need help. You don't have to be playing. You guys are the tech. All right, we're going to get 5 more seconds. We've got to get this going. 5, 4, 3, 2. You can still join. You'll just be late on the first question. 1. All right? There we go. Let's start this thing off. All right, come on, Internet. You can do it. Sometimes it works flawless. No? Are we? Come on, Internet.
Come on, Internet.
If not, we just play the review game the old-fashioned way.
Working.
Okay, that was really weird. Let's try that again. I'm sorry. You know how to do it. It's going to be super fast this time. I'm on the Wi-Fi. Got full bars. Here we go. Loading pin. Let's do this again. All right, if you know how to do this, should take you about 5 seconds. Go to Kahoot.it, enter in this pin. It's a new pin this time. The other game crashed, don't know why. 216-877, 216-877. If we can make this work in this room, it'd be really fun. We can do this for a lot of the different seminars we have. So yeah, there, you guys are popping up. You know how to do it now. Again, if you're one of the help me people, it's Kahoot.it, www.kahoot.it, 216-877. If someone's watching online, you can play this at home. If you're in your living room right now, you can go to Kahoot.it and compete with the rest of us. All right, we got the Bennett boys, we got dancing, that's Darren. I think that's Darren, so I'm making fun of Darren. Linda, we got X, we got Crash, that's appropriate. Momo, how's it going, Momo? We got Clyde and Bonnie, hopefully somewhere. Blessed, Petty, Raquel, IT. Hey, I said you guys got to do your work. IT is up there, all right. I was messing with you, do whatever you want. Shell. All right, let's do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2. You can still join. We've got to get this going. 1. Are we ready? Yes? All right, anybody need help? Say help me. All right, we're good. Oh, people are still going. Okay, we have to start this thing. Okay, are we working now? Come on, technology. Tale of Two Bros. I did this game initially for teens, so pretend you're all teenagers. 3, 2, 1. First question is, what experiences and choices strengthened Walter's faith? That's my faith last night. Attending Christian University, spending Christmas in Europe, working at Bible camp, or 2 summers with my father? Okay, so see, there's 8 people. 3, 2, 1. All right. And it was multiple answers. Sorry, I should have said that. Attending the Christian university, working in Bible camp, and 2 summers that are all correct. And spending Christmas in Europe. I have never been to Europe, but I'll be there in 3 weeks. All right, 1, 2, 3. You got the fastest correct answer, or most correct. Haley, Matthew, Stack, and Christopher. Good job, guys. Next question. Okay, again, multiple answers. Answer all the correct answers. What experiences and choices strengthened William's doubt? Okay, so we compared my experience with his experience. All right, what strengthened my brother's doubt? We're trying. There we go. All right, number 1, Christian family members fighting, watching the God Delusion video by Richard Dawkins, taking an evolutionary psychology class, or reading lots of books. Reading lots of books. Okay, that is correct. No, my brother's not read that many books on this. It was more personal experience, university classes, and then that video did connect with him. All right, let's see how we're doing. Oh, Haley moved to first place, then Matthew, 1, 2, 3, Stack, and X. Everyone's within about 220 points for the top 5 anyhow. All right, true or false? The strongest influence of what people believe is logic and evidence. Someone predictor, what you believe is logic and evidence. True or false? True or false? Are humans primarily logical and evidence-based in their belief systems? All right. There we go. All right. Time is up. Let's see. 25 people got it correct. And whoa! Stack moved up, Samin moved up, and Jody is on fire. 3 correct answers in a row. Wendell, I don't know how to say that last name. Akudire. I'm going to try. All right. Second last question. If talking to someone about doubt, so if you're talking to someone who doesn't believe in God, they got some questions, what are the best ways to talk to them? Again, check all the correct answers, okay? If talking to someone about doubt, how should we handle it? Come on, Kahoot. Servers must be busy this morning. There we go. Just give them as many answers as possible. Show them how dumb they are. Listen and admit that you don't have the answer. Share it as their issue. Wow, you guys are quick. I didn't touch the laptop. I don't know what happened there. Was that what it was? Okay. Well, we got to be quick then. Sorry about that. All right. Samin is number 1. Haley, Matthew, Emma, Stab. The final question. I'm not going to touch it. All right, when my brother asked me, how can you still believe in God, I answered, what 3 things? After I did my own research, reflected on it, kind of went back and double-checked my faith, what are the 3 things that I thought were the main reasons why I still believe in God after I had my faith challenged and doing a bunch of research? If you just study hard enough, you'll find all your answers. The effect or quality of life is better, sociology. The evidence is better, or a person experienced God moving. All right? Let's see here. I'm not sure what's going on. It says skip. I don't want to skip it.
Timed out.
There we go. Sorry, guys. We might have to do an old-fashioned quiz here in the future meetings. Tale of Two Brothers. Number 3 is Stack. Good job, Stack, wherever you are. Number 2 is Samin. And number 3 is...
Number 1.
Emma. Where's Emma at? Emma's number 1. Yes, sorry. Where's Emma at? You got a free book. No, we're trusting you because I have no idea who you are. Is Emma at home?
Online. Online.
Is Emma online? Can we get her a book online? All right. Where is Samin? Simone, come on up here. We got a book for you. The Reason for God, Timothy Keller. And we can take a note.
Go,
You're very welcome. Congratulations. I hope you enjoyed the book. Are we taking note of Emma? Emma, text us or email us or something, and we'll get you a book, okay? So we're to connect with the team. How should she contact the church? I'm sorry?
Office at collegepark.ca.
Office
At College Park Church.
collegepark.ca.
Office
at College Park
Church.
collegeparkchurch.ca. collegeparkchurch.ca. All right, we're all done with Kahoot for right now, and we're going to switch back over to our presentation. We have some more games there, so don't go anywhere. All right, creation. Okay, so evolution explains how you go from simple to complex, and we don't need God to be involved in that because we have evolution. Number 4, miracles don't happen. Right? Everything that happens is explainable scientifically. Sooner or later, we explain it scientifically. And so then we look at the Bible, and the Bible is full of miracles. And as miracles don't happen, as miracles in the Bible, then the Bible stories are fake. Because miracles don't happen. We'll look at that. Do miracles still happen or not? Verified, documented miracles in modern times. Number 5, Jesus is a legend like Santa Claus. A cute story, kids like it, makes people feel better. It's not actually based on anything. Here's a story that we made up or that evolved over hundreds of years as a legend, similar to Santa Claus. And here's a really big one. This isn't evidence. This is more philosophy or logic.
Give him the second.
If God were all-powerful, and if God were all good, he would stop evil. Therefore, since evil exists, God is either not all-powerful, that he wants to stop evil, but can't, why call him God, or God is not all good. He's all-powerful, he can stop evil, chooses not to. Why worship him? So that's a big question for a lot of people. Neil deGrasse Tyson talked about that. So, first one here, let's look at a little bit of science. You just believe what your parents taught you. Your parents taught you about God, therefore that does not mean God is real. This is what you call a nothing burger, okay? The fact is, most people believe what their parents taught them. In fact, if both your parents have the same belief system, there's over an 80% chance you believe what your parents believe. So if your parents are Christian, you are most likely Christian. If your parents are Muslim, you're most likely. If your parents are atheists, you're most likely. That is not evidence that God exists or doesn't exist. That is evidence your parents exist. This means nothing. This just means you have parents. If you're a Christian, your parents were a Christian, that just means you are part of the 80%. If you're not, you're part of the 20%. Okay? My brother be part of the 20%. All right? Then we have the other questions. This morning, we're going to go over the Big Bang created the universe, not God. So let's go over, like, we're in the basement here. We're not talking about Jesus or Christian. We're talking about any God. Any God. So, what does the evidence suggest? Is there no God? Or is there some form of higher power? Any form. Could be Star Wars, the Force, okay? If there is no God, then everything is random chance. And I would also say explainable by science. Okay, if there is no God, everything is random chance. So now, we're going to look at the chance. Okay? I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia. This beautiful beach here called Stanley Park, and you'll go to different places on the beach or in the mountains. You'll see these rocks balance. This is a common occurrence. If you saw these rocks just perfectly balanced, theoretically, they could have got there anyway. They could have got there from a tornado, from a tsunami, could have been an earthquake somewhere, a tsunami, or it could have been an intelligent human driving a sophisticated machine we call a dump truck, lowered the back of the dump truck, dropped all these rocks out randomly, so intelligence, but no design. Accident, okay? And these rocks just landed perfectly balanced. What is the most scientific conclusion? Now again, you have no evidence. There's no videotape, no eyewitnesses, nobody saw how the rocks got there. You just arrive at the rocks and all you have is what is in front of you. What's the most scientific answer? That these rocks got balanced by random chance? Or that an intelligent, talented being purposefully balanced these rocks just so? Well, there's more than one way to balance rocks, you know, Walter. And yes, there's theoretically like an infinite different number of ways to balance rocks. If you take 10 professional rock balancers, which there are, there's people, this is what they do, full-time on YouTube, okay? I'm serious, I looked it up. You take 10 professional rock balancers, they all balance the same rocks, they're all going to do it differently. They're all going to balance the rocks. Is it logical to conclude these rocks happened by accident? Why not? It's possible. It is possible. There's too many wrong ways to balance the rocks. There's more than one right way, but there's so many wrong ways to balance them where they will fall over that you intuitively know that was not an accident. Today, we're looking at two very, very specific things. The universe, the entire, is everything we can see and measure through science, and life. If there is no God, everything is random chance. How lucky or improbable or impossible does something have to be before you doubt that it can be random chance? First, let's look at the universe. Can the universe be an accident? Okay, can the universe be an accident? By the way, here's a picture of the universe, one of the best pictures we have of the cosmic microwave background radiation. All right, you found that boring? Let's go to the next part. This will be fun. I have a gift card here. This is the big gift card. $25 goes to the person who gets the most coin tosses in a row correct. I would love to take 5 volunteers, line up over here. 5 volunteers up here, the one on $25. Come on up here. Anybody, come on up. Kids preferably, come on up. Yep, that's 1.
Go back.
2, come on up here, Adam. All right. Adults are allowed to play too. This guy, yeah, come on up here. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Come on, 2 more. Need 2 more. Chances are one of these people, come on up. One of these people is going to get a $25 gift card. They'll get some heads and tails in a row. All right, one more person.
What?
Yes? No? All right. What is your name, young lady? Haley. Haley, how you doing? Heads or tails? All right, so I have in my hand a toonie. One side is heads, one side is tails. You said tails. Tails. Good. So here's V for Victor and tails. Other side is the beautiful Queen Elizabeth, not the ugly King Charles. No offense to King Charles. All right. Heads or tails? Whoa, that was a V. I saw it. That was a V. That's 1 correct. That might win. You don't know. Stand over here. She got 1. All right, heads or tails, young man. Remember, this is random chance. He said tails. There's 2 sides of the coin, 50% chance. He got heads. Respectfully, sorry, buddy. You go say that. I feel bad. This is so cute. All right, heads or tails, Adam? Tails. All right. There's 2 sides of the coins. Each time you flip it, you have 1 out of 2 chances, or 50%. Okay? You said tails, right? Tails! Good. So that was 50% chance. Now to get it twice in a row right, it's 1 out of 4, right? 2 times 2, 1/2 times 1/2. So he has a 25% chance for a quarter probability of getting it the second time. You got it right the first time? Heads or tails, Adam? Tails again. Is it a V for victory? Got it wrong. So you're tied. 1-1. We have some playoffs here. All right. This feels like Florida versus Oilers. All right. Heads or tails? Well, what's your name first? Keith. Good to meet you, Keith. And you said tails. All right. 50% chance. You said tails. Good. V for victory. All right. You got it right. Now, second time is twice as hard. Every time. There's 2 sides, so every time it's twice as hard to get it right the second time, etc. Okay? So he said tails, heads or tails? Tails! We're 1 out of 4. I love you guys. You can go sit down. No, you're not done though. You're not done yet. Listen, no, I had one young man get it 9 times in a row. in Williams Lake, BC. Let's see how you do, okay? We're 1 out of 4, okay? Now here though, every time it gets harder. So it goes from like 2 times 2 for 10 tosses, it goes from 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 512. I've seen 512, that's 9 tosses. You're right, 10 times in a row is 1 out of 1,000. Keith, are you 1 out of 1,000? Yes, okay, we're optimistic right now. Heads or tails? Tails. Respectfully, that's okay. You got it 1 out of 4, and you don't get 25% chance. You get $25. Actually, it works out perfect. I did 25%. There you go. Thank you, Keith. How many coin tosses could Keith get before you started going like, I don't know what that, right? Is it maybe is it 10 in a row? Well, what if Keith's up here and did it 100 times in a row? Now, every time it gets twice as hard, but you look at the probability, this blue line is the probability, okay? So it starts at 100%, where actually the coin toss the first time is 50%, then it drops in half to 25, then to a quarter, then to 12, 12%, 6%, etc. It keeps getting smaller, but it never goes to 0. There's 31 zeros there, but it's never exactly impossible to get one more coin toss right. And think of this as a frog, okay? So if there's a frog, he jumps from this side of the stage to that side. He only jumps halfway across the stage. Okay? That's his first jump. The next time, he's a lazy frog, only jumps halfway to the other side. Then he jumps halfway. Remember there's 2 answers? Halfway, 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 halfway. At what point will we say the frog touches the edge? Because technically, that blue line never touches 0. It goes for infinity, half, 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 half. At what point would you say something is impossible? Because theoretically, anything is possible. Okay? We're going to do a little experiment with you guys here. I need a young person to come on up here. Let me see who wants to come here and play a game of Uno with Walter. A game of Uno here, okay? If you're suspicious, come on up. I got some big Uno cards here. Oh, okay, we got 2 people. Okay, that's fair. All right, no, you can sit here. We're okay. All right. So let's go right here. You got a 5. That's pretty good. All right. High 5 right there. Whoa, that card. Nice. All right. We got a 2, kind of like a coin toss there. All right. Nice. Very impressive.
When he comes to the table.
Yeah, he is wild. He's also wildly lucky. All right, let's see. This can't. Oh. That's your phone number, for real? That's his phone. If anyone wants to stalk him, you got it right there. Right there. It's your card, all right? What? What's suspicious? Who said suspicious? I carefully shuffled these cards. Oh, no, hold on. All the wild cards are in the deck. I got this on Amazon. There's 8 wild cards in this deck. Okay? They're all mixed in there. It is 100% possible to get all 8 wild cards in a row. Why? No, it's possible. They're in the deck. You can pull all of them out. Okay, that's the end of it there. So you have 8 wild cards there. Why is that suspicious? Usually a kid calls me a cheater because I get the wild cards.
Give me a second.
Because every time you handed the card to Bradley, it was a good card and you handed him the other. So it was just way too technical. It was just way too...
Improbable. Possible, but not probable. To get 1 wild card is 1 in 14. There's 8 wild cards in the deck, 120 cards. Okay? Sorry, 112 cards. Get 2 wild cards is 1 out of 200. Rounding here a little bit. 3 wild cards is 1 in 4,000. Let me ask you, put up your fingers, how many wild cards until you knew something was wrong? Hold up your finger, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, okay? You're a skeptic. 2, 3, 4, oh You have faith, sweetheart. Good job. Right? Most people, it's 3 cards. I've done this all over North America. Most people have faith. For 1 in 200, we get to 4,000. They're like, no, I'm suspicious. That wasn't just luck. So no, it's possible, okay? But again, in Vegas, they will kick you out. You win too much. Who said 4? You said 4. That's 1 in 80,000. You win too much. They got all the cameras on you in Vegas. They have 0 evidence you cheated. They will kick you out. Why? Because they believe in math. All right? Now, he'd get all 8 wild cards, but we would just have to play 400 billion games. Okay? So if we played 5 deals an hour, okay? That's 11 zeros, by the way. 5 deals an hour, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, for 8 million years, on average, at one point, he would get 8 wild cards in a row. So we're suspicious at 3. Now let's talk about the universe. Thank you so much. All right, I can't give you a prize because that was a stacked deck. Okay? You can't have my tuning. This one has V for victory. All right? So now let's look back at the universe. Again, we talked about coin tosses, Uno cards, and the bounce rock. What about the universe? Can the universe be an accident? Okay? There's 2 fundamental elements here. First of all, does the universe have a beginning? So for most of history, we weren't really sure. We didn't have the evidence. So scientists would argue between 2 theories of the universe. One was the steady-state theory, in which, look at that. Where's Darren? Right there. In which all the stars, we can see, ancient people can see the stars are moving, right? Anyone can see that. The stars are moving around like coconut chunks inside a giant jar of salt water that Pastor Darren got Pastor Walter, okay? So anyone can see it's moving, but if it stays the same size, container is the same size. So that like soup in a bowl, it stays the same size, then the universe, things move inside the universe, the universe stays the same size, the universe has always existed, never has a moment of creation or beginning, doesn't need a creator. Well, Edwin Hubble, in the 1920s, okay, there's a picture of Edwin Hubble and Albert Einstein. Hubble's in the background with the pipe, looks like J.R. Tolkien. He was through his telescope, not the regular stars. Regular stars are balls of burning gas. Of course, the planets, you can see the planets. He was looking at the fuzzy stars, which are galaxies, right? So we're in the Milky Way galaxy, looking at the fuzzy stars that are other galaxies outside the Milky Way, like these green dots. And as he was looking at them, he was measuring whether they're moving towards us or away from us, okay? And that's called the Doppler effect. We do this with cars all the time, right? When someone's driving by, they go, as they come towards you, the frequency is higher. They move away from you, the frequency is lower. All the boys know this intuitively. I don't know what to call it, but right? Well, light does the same thing. If something like a star is emitting light and it's moving away from you, it's going to be lower. Red shift. It's moving towards you, blue shift. So Edwin Hubble started looking through his telescope at the fuzzy stars, the galaxies in the sky we can see, and measuring them moving towards us or away from us. So maybe it's just random, like this. Okay? Half are moving towards us, half are moving away from us, and some are going sideways. Look through his telescope, and he found almost every galaxy he could see was moving away. And the further away he looked, the faster it was moving. Now this is huge, because the universe is getting bigger. Almost every galaxy is moving away from us. One is moving towards us and will collide, and that's a long time from now. Okay? So almost every galaxy is moving away from us, and that means the universe is getting bigger. If the universe is getting bigger now, if you go back in time, the universe is getting smaller, and smaller, and smaller, until what? Until it collapses into essentially nothing. The entire universe will fit in the palm of your hand. What scientists call the singularity. Now this is a really, really big deal. Because this is saying the universe is everything we can see and measure through science. I'm just saying that everything comes from nothing. The science is saying everything comes from nothing, but nothing comes from nothing. Right? With science, we don't say, oh, that tree was just there just because. No, you imagine how the seed get there, what happened here. A car accident happens. You don't want the police to come there and say, I'm so sorry your mother died in this car accident. It was just God's timing. No, you're like, go do your job. Take some pictures. Measure some stuff, right? Well, like, why did this happen, right? Everything happens for a reason. Everything comes from something. How can everything come from nothing? The entire universe has a beginning, has a moment of creation. So the problem is scientists like science. When the science says that everything comes from nothing, that there's a creation moment for the universe, a beginning. And if you have a creation moment, you need a creator. Right? Something made my pen. Something made this microphone. These Uno cards. Something made this. This just happened. This got made somehow. So the universe has meaning. This is huge. Well, this was highly debated when Edwin Hubble published this in 1929. Another scientist, Edwin Hubble, by the way, was a believer. He wasn't trying to prove anything. He was just doing science. He was following the evidence wherever the evidence leads. The evidence leads to the universe having a beginning. Another scientist who didn't like this said, this is dumb. We do science, not religion. And in an interview with BBC, another respected scientist named Fred Hoyle has this quote. He said, scientists, like Edwin Hubble or Albert Einstein, like the Big Bang, the first use of the term Big Bang, because it is deep within the psyche of most scientists to believe in the first page of Genesis. The term Big Bang was coined by Fred Hoyle, one scientist, criticizing Edwin Hubble, of which the telescope is named after, right? His theory has been verified many, many times, including the picture I showed you, the big blue and red picture I showed you, has been verified. The first use of the term Big Bang is saying, this is a bad idea, this Big Bang idea from Edwin Hubble, because it sounds like Genesis. In the, there is a beginning. That's a really big problem if you don't want to believe in God, because it's unscientific to say that everything comes from nothing, but everything does come from nothing. Almost universally accepted, number one. Number two, the Big Bang, the way Christians use it, and the way atheists use it, is 100% backwards. Big Bang doesn't disprove God. Big Bang is one of the biggest evidences for God. From the beginning of the use of the term, Big Bang is equated to Genesis chapter 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And he said, let there be light. What do really big explosions have a lot of? Okay. Not only does the universe have a beginning, that's a huge deal, that everything comes from nothing. As scientists started to calculate the Big Bang, they started to realize it had to be the exact right speed. If it was too fast, everything would go out and just be dust and particles. And you'd never form stars, you'd never form planets, we would not be in existence. No life. Okay? So you'd have a universe, it'd be dead, just dust and particles. If the universe expanded too quick or too slowly, it would expand out and the gravity would overcome the expansion and collapse it back into nothing, and you and I would not be having this conversation. Universe had to be the exact right speed. Not only that, going back to our cosmic microwave background radiation, this picture of the universe, notice it's not perfectly even. I like my toast to be nice and even. I like to put my butter from one side to the other side, and put the jam on, I like to spread it out. It's all clumped up on one side. I'm like, you hand me toast with jam on one side? What's wrong with you? Spread that around, right? I want nice and even. Well, figure the universe isn't totally, the universe the way I like my toast, you would just have dust. Because gravity would be going the same way in both directions, and you just have particles everywhere. You'd have no stars, no planets, no life. But we have life, and we have a lot of it, okay? So it has to be the perfect mix of even or uneven. There's another thing. I have a little coin here, right? If I got this coin, right, that's called gravity. Things fall. Things are attracted to each other. So the moon's attracted to the earth is attracted to the sun, etc., you know? Gravity. If gravity is a little bit different, you think, well, that's no problem, Walter. You know, if there's more gravity, the coin will fall faster, right? If there's less gravity, like on the moon, the coin falls slower, right? No. Absolute gravity. Absolute gravity. How much is one hydrogen atom attracted to another hydrogen atom? Because that's how you make stars. Hydrogen atoms collapse together, and you get enough of them together, and then they squeeze so tight, they start a nuclear reaction, and we call it a sun or a star. Okay? If gravity was just a little bit off, 60 zeros off, you again would either have this too small, it is going to dust and particles. If it was too strong, you would collapse back on itself, or you would have too many black holes everywhere, and people can't live, bacteria can't live, trees can't live inside a black hole. It is like a perfectly tuned guitar. Does that sound nice? Now you take one string, shoot it off. Let's try that. How'd that sound? We take two strings. Make it tighter. How'd that sound? It all has to be tuned. If you found a guitar perfectly tuned, you wouldn't say that just happened from the factory. Someone tuned that guitar, like Pastor Sheldon. Okay? Well, the universe is like a perfectly tuned guitar. Okay? Perfect. 60 zeros behind gravity. So much so that the self-proclaimed atheist, brilliant scientists like Stephen Hawking, of which I have his book and read it, very interesting book, books, A Very Brief History of Time. This is what he says. The laws of science as we know them at present contain many fundamental numbers that seem to have been very finely adjusted or tuned to make possible the development of life. Okay? Now, in my research, I've used Stephen Hawking and other atheists, or I don't even care if they're atheist or Christian, I get the best science I can. I found 30 fine-tuning variables, okay? Here's 30 of them. You notice I got them from smaller numbers, 2 zeros, 10 zeros, 36 zeros, 60 zeros, from small numbers to bigger numbers. At the bottom, 13 and 14. That number, I have spoken it wrong on multiple places, right? I've said it wrong where I said it was 10 to the exponent 123. That's 10 with 123 zeros behind it. A million is 6 zeros, by the way. A billion is 9 zeros, okay? So a billion is a big number. That is not 10 to the exponent 123. That is 10 to the exponent 10 to the exponent 123. I was in Hawaii about to preach this message. I could have been at the beach. I was at a hotel, beach is right there, and I'm on my laptop. I was like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what this number means. It's like, Walter, go to the beach. I'm like, nope, gotta find this map. Like, I'm speaking tomorrow on this. And it's like, Walter, it's not I'm like, no, I couldn't figure out what this number was. I just kept Googling it and searching it, like, what does this even mean? A double-decker exponent. There's so many zeros, you can't write the zeros out and put them into another exponent. Remember it this way. The chance of 13 or 14 being correct the number is so improbable that if you took your pen and you went and wrote a 0 on every single atom in the entire universe, wrote a 0 on it, it's not enough zeros. How impossible does something have to be before you question the luck of it? When I found this evidence, I'm like, that is crazy. That's an insane number, right? not believe in God. Forget the Bible, just science. Just science. And so I Googled it and I found this video. This brilliant scientist, world famous Michio Kaku, professor of theoretical physics at the City University of New York, is being asked about the fine tuning of the universe. Listen to what he says, okay? This was working earlier. Okay, I'm going to summarize what he says. You can look at it up on YouTube. I don't know what just happened there. That was weird. Number one, he says, we are special. Our universe is fine-tuned for intelligent life, but it's not God. He's actually mad that missionaries taught him about God as a little boy. It's not God, but it can't be luck. So the cosmic jackpot is too impossible. Not even Vegas would give you those odds. It wasn't God. Instead, the universe is created by advanced alien civilizations. World famous scientists from New York University. It's not God, can't be luck, it's an alien. What's the problem with saying an alien created the universe? Who created the alien? Okay? It gets better. There's a second part here. He goes into it more about how impossible it is, and there's these universes, baby universes created, there's an evolution of universes, all this stuff. And he says, big universe created by intelligent beings requires unimaginably super advanced civilization, but consistent with the laws of physics. So he likes the laws of physics, and it is no accident. Brilliant man, way smarter than me. Brilliant people say some crazy stuff, right? Listen. Where did the alien come from? Because the universe is everything. You have to have something outside the universe, and physics, as we understand it, starts at the Big Bang. Okay? And so it has to be something outside of the universe. If that alien existed, they would be so super, unimaginably more advanced than us, more powerful than us, more intelligent, so much higher than we are, that as we would look up to them, we would have so much respect and admiration for that alien that we would call that alien God. We would call that alien God. Here's something to think about. Any sufficiently advanced science is indistinguishable from magic. If you went back 200 years and you had an iPhone, would people think that was science or magic? If you go back 500 years with any airplane, a toy airplane, would people think that was magic or science? So the universe exists, comes from nothing. Something super powerful and intelligent had to create it. Why can't that be super advanced science, bigger than we can ever understand? Because the universe is here and life is here. And we should not be here, but we are. Something super smart and advanced had to make it. What the Bible said 2,000 years ago says by faith. Now faith is the evidence of things we don't see. Not lack of evidence, like wind moves leaves in a tree. So faith is based on evidence in the Bible. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so what is seen was not made out of what was visible. One last point with this verse. As scientists look at the universe and how things move around, they don't move the way they should. Our theory of gravity doesn't explain how the universe moves. So literally with zero evidence invented the concept of dark matter and dark energy. We can't see it, can't sense it, but something out there is helping the universe move around. Out of what? Not made out of what was visible. Okay? All right, any questions? Yes, we have a mic right here. Let's get this mic going. Test, 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 test. All right, Sheldon's right there, and Darren. All right.
as you had with the universe, the oval shape.
Yes, right here.
Right. So if I may just come up here. If you observe stars or universes at the edge here that's moving away, and we are somewhere and we are observing it going away, but there is also matter halfway between us, point of observation, and here where the stars are going away. Why would there still be matter here and matter here if they originate at the same point?
Because it's expanding. It's like, think of like raisins in raisin dough bread, and it's expanding, and as it expands, the clouds, I'll show you another picture here. We're looking at, there's currently new stars forming right here in the Horsehead Nebula. Right here, on the right there, that is a new star forming from giant clouds. So the particles attract each other, and eventually they'll collapse into a star if it's big enough, and it'll ignite. Like a diesel engine has no spark. A diesel engine squeezes the air in the fuel until it gets so hot it explodes and pushes the piston down. Different than a gas engine. A gas engine has a spark. And so stars are like a diesel engine. It's squeezing hydrogen together so much that eventually it ignites in a nuclear reaction. Okay? And then eventually that will burn out, it'll explode, and then from there the hydrogen will be left in the middle. The heavier elements, like iron, will go further, and then those will squeeze down into a planet. So there's an asteroid belt, I think it's past Mars, between us and the other planets. There's an asteroid belt there that you can mathematically predict that asteroid belt should have, or maybe eventually, will collapse into another rocky planet from this asteroids. Okay? And so as it goes out, it's uneven. Let's go back to the picture. Because it's uneven, let's say there's a hydrogen atom here, hydrogen atom here, hydrogen atom here. These two are more attracted. There's gravity this way and this way. This gravity is stronger, they're closer, so they're going to push together. Right? And so by being uneven, the clumps are going to collapse in and form stars. If the clumps are too big, there's too much gravity, they're going to collapse the star even further into a black hole. So much gravity that even light doesn't escape. But it's the unevenness that allows the formation of stars and planets. And of course, then there's galaxies and clusters of galaxies and all that. Does that answer your question? Yeah, so because it's uneven, then things squeeze in on the clumps, right? All right, next question. Okay, over here. I mean, maybe Sean, you stand here up the front. We'll try and get someone from this side of the room next.
Just want to say this is fascinating. I'm so glad I'm here.
Me too.
Awesome.
We shouldn't be here.
Mention. Right. But we are.
We are.
Hallelujah. So, Einstein, you mentioned Einstein.
Yes.
Was Einstein a true atheist or
No.
not? I don't think so, right?
No, he never
said
did
he was
atheism. I haven't researched this in depth, but he believed in God. He said science, well, what was his quote? I'm just going to be a proxy, you can Google it. Einstein said, science without faith is empty, and faith without science is blind, or something like that. So he believed in both. He was not an orthodox, a Bible-believing Christian, believed Jesus is the Messiah, the Son of God, etc. But he was not an atheist. Right? Now there was, of course, Isaac Newton, Blaise Pascal, Galileo, Copernicus, etc. Right? So science was pioneered, including today, by Christians. So 60% of people who win the Nobel Peace Prize are either Christians or come from a Christian background. So the idea that it's faith against science is unscientific. Right? In the U.S., there's more scientists who believe there's a higher power of God, 51%, versus those who say there isn't, 43%. The faith versus science is a myth. It's a lie. We keep hearing all the time, faith versus science is a lie. Just like the Big Bang disproves God. The Big Bang is one of the biggest reasons to believe in God, and one of the main reasons that convert scientists from not believing God to believing in God. And remember, there's two parts. The universe has a beginning, Therefore, creation will be the creator. Number two, the universe is fine-tuned. The universe does not have to be tuned. This guitar doesn't have to be tuned, but it is. And it shouldn't be. Those are two of the biggest reasons why scientists and intellectuals will convert to starting to believe in God. Some form of God. Okay, we haven't talked about Jesus yet. That's next weekend. Any other questions? We have two from over here. Is there a question from this side over here?
Can I ask a question about
Last night's program.
Yes. Yeah, we didn't have a chance last time. Absolutely.
okay, was your brother a baptized SDA?
Yes.
And my second question is, he said the world was going to end in 10 years. How many years has it been since he said
I don't
that?
know. He said if you believe the world's going to end in 10 years, you're not going to make a good road. It's going to like Lightning McQueen in the movie Cars. You're just going to patch it together. And to be honest, we have made buildings that way. I've seen the buildings, the pipes, it was very shoddy made. You should come back right away, and then you have plumbing issues. And you have to tear the building down, right? So there are avenues to have done that. My dad is not one of them, okay? The idea there is that I hope Christians don't make stuff. They believe he's coming back so soon they'll do a bad job. Some of us have. I would argue that if you're going to hire a construction worker for your house, chances are, whether they're a Christian or not, hopefully they're going to do a good job, regardless of whether they're a Christian or not.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Question over here. And over here. Where's the questions? Right over here. So lunch is at 12:30. We do have some time. And no matter what, when we have the open mic, people won't say stuff, and as soon as we end, they come up and talk to me. So I'm used to that. That's just how it works. All right.
Thank you very much. Okay, about Big Bang and science
Yes.
and religion, I've tried studying it before, but then it brought up some questions, especially when you put, because I was speaking to someone about creation and science, and it was like, as a Christian, you shouldn't believe in Big Bang because there are some nuances that, especially he was like, God didn't create the universe in 6 days, especially if you believe in the Big Bang because of space and distance. Like, there are some things we see that take 1.4 million light years to
Yeah, things are millions of light years away.
yeah, so how does that and creation, because according to the Bible, the universe was created in 6 days. But if
we're going on, I'm going to pause you there. God and the universe. Because God created the universe in 6 days, okay?
Yes.
Was there a war in heaven before Adam and Eve?
Heaven.
Yes, was there a war in heaven before Adam and Eve? Is heaven in the universe?
It's a difficult question because heaven as in where God was, as in the heaven or heavens, as in the firmament and the sky, because those are two, I believe those are
Yeah,
two.
so I'm gonna split that. So we can make a chart. So there's multiple variables there. So number one, there's old universe, young universe. Old Earth, planet Earth, young Earth. Old animal life, young life. Right? Old human life, young human life. So there's all these variables here, right? And there's debates and discussions to be had there. The first one, though, as a Bible scholar, I see zero conflict with the universe being old. Because even if you just, not even worried about science, just looking at Genesis chapter 1, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth, then there seems to be a transition into the creation week. And there it says the earth was void. The earth was, past tense, void and without form. So the other thing there is I don't believe as a Bible scholar, I don't think there's any reason that I should struggle my faith with the earth being millions or billions of years old. The rub is death before sin, especially human death. Now, we can go more in depth there if you want, right? But that's where the theological rub is, right? And so evangelical brothers kind of downplay that. The Catholic Church downplays that. But that's where you want to say the controversy is. As far as an old universe and even an old planet, I don't see a big problem there. And again, we people would really say, well, yes, but the sun, moon, and stars are all made on day 3. Okay, that's true. But one question I would say, is Moses dumb? Was Moses unintelligent? Is Moses blind? Where does our light come from? You stand outside, where's the light coming from? The sun. So Moses wrote down, day 1, God said, let there be light. Day 3, he made the sun, moon, and stars. There's a lot there. Genesis is just loaded with beauty and truth, and it is an amazing, amazing book. But the point is, for me, I don't have any problem with an old earth or with an old universe. And my dad is like old school. He don't even Adventist. He's some of the Adventist Reform movement. So like ladies gotta wear dresses, no makeup, King James Bible only. I love it. Like old fashioned, he has no problem with old earth. And of course, there's a great controversy that God and the angels pre-existed the earth, right? Or human life on earth, and the angels were happy in heaven. Then there was a war in heaven, and then Lucifer and the other angels got kicked out of heaven. Then there's a story on earth. So based on Isaiah 14 and I think it was Ezekiel 28, or the pre-existence. So I don't have any problem with that. Some people want to believe in a young universe and a young earth. For me, I find the evidence very compelling that the universe is old. Number 1. Number 2, I don't see any problem with the Bible with that. Does that answer your question? Okay. Okay. Sheldon, Darren. All right, we'll go here and then we'll go over there. All right, right here.
I wasn't here yesterday.
Oh, can we pass the mic to her?
One of the most dangerous things you can do is hand over a mic.
That's true.
Okay. I wasn't here yesterday, and you keep referring to an old Earth. Can you tell me in numbers or years what you mean by old Earth?
An Earth that's older than 6,000 years. So Genesis, we didn't talk about this. We're talking about my brother and me. My brother's a little bit older than me, but only 3 years.
Okay.
Okay. So my friend had a question about the universe.
Right.
So you go to like Tennessee Creation Museum, etc. They have the Ark encounter. There's an amazing Ark. It's huge. I took my son Clayton there. We had a blast. They are extremely.
Sorry to cut you. I just wanted you to say that you believe in the Earth is 6,000 years, but not a billion years.
I have no problem the Earth being a trillion years old.
Okay, that's what I'm
Okay, for me, I don't see a conflict between the Bible and the Earth being old.
Old meaning in millions.
Millions, billions, trillions, whatever it is.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So the rub again is specifically the biggest rub for me is human death before sin. That's the controversy. All right. We have a question over here.
One of the promoters one of the promoters of the Big Bang Theory is the priest George Lemaitre. You know him?
No.
George Lemaitre was a Jesuit, very famous in Europe. The question I will ask someone who's a fan of the Big Bang Theory would be this one. What was before Big Bang?
God.
What can be the answer?
God. And so whether some controversial adopted Big Bang or not, to me, it isn't relevant. If someone loves Toyota cars, if terrorists love Toyota trucks, they put machine guns on the back, go and kill people. I love my Toyota truck. In fact, if a terrorist uses a Toyota truck, it doesn't affect me loving my Toyota truck at all. Like I'm like, wow, it's good enough for them, it's good enough for me, right? Not that I support what they do, just to be clear. And so if someone controversial promotes the Big Bang, for me, it's all about what's the fundamental. Is there a beginning to the universe? And the Big Bang term is originated from Fred Hoyle saying scientists like the Big Bang because the Big Bang sounds like the first page of the Bible, Genesis 1:1. So the fact is the term originally came from equating this idea from Edwin Hubble to Genesis chapter 1. And to me, that's a much more important point than whether someone controversial adopts the Big Bang now, right? And again, if a terrorist likes Toyota trucks, that doesn't make me not drive a Toyota truck, right? All right. Any other questions?
Another one here.
Yes, some or maybe many scientists are shy about admitting that there is God that created everything in the earth and universe. Do you think such view is due to peer pressure from the evolutionist community, or maybe it just come down to just faith?
Okay, there's multiple things there. So first of all, there's more scientists who believe there's a higher power, in the US 51%, versus scientists who say there is no God. So, to be explicit, there are many scientists who believe God created the universe. Okay? We hear the squeaky wheel over here. They're the minority. Okay? Are you with me? And I showed you the video I tried to show you the video because these brilliant scientists say no, it wasn't God, but it came up. Most people who say that don't know the math. Right? When you're a scientist, you have a PhD in one sliver. Let's say you're an expert on DNA. That means you know a lot about DNA. That means zero for cosmology. Okay? You know what I mean? So Stephen Hawking said there is no God, right? He's an expert in cosmology, not theology or philosophy. And in his statement where he said there is no God, he had all these problems in his extrapolation. Okay? So what happens, someone has a PhD in one little sliver of knowledge, super specialized, but then they write a book and we give them authority. Well, they said this. And you know, they're smarter than me, right? Richard Dawkins is a horrible Bible scholar. And actually my friend is he has a PhD from Oxford, was Richard Dawkins' next door neighbor. I thought Richard Dawkins was a good scientist, bad theologian. I'm a theologian, right? He was his next door neighbor, and he's in there. He went to Oxford, right? He lives right next door to Oxford. He said even the scientific community, Richard Dawkins isn't respected by the scientists for his science. I was like, what? Say that again. So again, number one, more scientists believe in God than not, and so most scientists believe in the Big Bang. The majority of them would say that's a higher power did the Big Bang. A minority will say it was random luck or aliens. If they do the math, though, they'll lean on the aliens. But you'll notice when he said that, he said within the law, because a scientist's job is to look at science, not theology, right? And so when he criticized the video here, when he criticized it, he said, where is it? Right here. Boom. Consistent with the laws of physics, right? My problem with the laws of physics as we know them, right? There's more we don't know than we do know. And if there is a super advanced, super powerful intelligence out there, Christians call that God, they would know physics much more than we know physics. They'd be able to get used to the, we go somewhere with hunter-gatherers there, we give them penicillin, they think we're God, could help cure their disease. It was penicillin, right? And so at some point you say, well, there's this more advanced science that had this medicine, etc. So at some point there's something, is there something above humans? And what is that? And how does that reveal itself? So we're going to unpack that step by step. So number one, the Big Bang has theological implications, which was obvious from the beginning. Especially atheist scientists in the Soviet Union hated the Big Bang Theory. Fred Hoyle hated it and did research against it. Ironically, Fred Hoyle's career was research, and one of the things he researched was carbon-12 and how it forms in stars. The point is, his life work ended up supporting the Big Bang Theory. The guy who came up with the term Big Bang spent his career researching carbon, how carbon is made inside stars, but the research he did ended up supporting the theory he fought for most of his life. Right? So that's what you call good science, where the science, you follow the evidence wherever it leads. And where even people who resist it end up confirming it. The other one thing he said, what the Big Bang is science, why don't they say that? Belief in God is a very emotional, personal experience. People blame evidence and logic. Well, I don't believe God doesn't make sense. Okay, well, does it make sense to not believe in God? So what we're going to be doing here today is I'm not trying to increase your doubt there is a God. I'm trying to increase your doubt there is no God. I'm trying to increase your doubt about doubt. Or at least, discuss it, right? And so, then why don't they believe in God? Because they don't want to. Humans are emotional beings. Scientists are humans. Therefore, scientists are emotional beings. I'm very likely going to believe what their parents taught them. Okay? And I know I love science. I know science. I also know theologians. I took a class where a guest speaker was a Bible scholar on the book of Revelation who didn't believe in God. What? He has a PhD in biblical studies. I have another friend who's a paleontologist, an expert in Ice Age mammals like woolly mammoths, mastodons, saber-toothed cats, etc. He believes in God and has students over to his house for Bible study time on Friday evenings. PhD in Bible, doesn't believe the Bible. PhD in paleontology, believes the Bible and worships the Creator God as we know him in the Bible. And has students over to his house for Bible study. You believe what you want, and then you blame evidence, and you pick and choose. So my brother Temple will say, there's no evidence for God. Of course, I'd be like, Russell, really? Would you like to hear some? No, not really. So one time I asked my brother, and I love my brother very much, I said, well, what would it take to be that? Truth is falsifiable, right? But it is true, it can handle criticism, okay? If you can show me this, and this, show me how the universe can create itself, show me how life can happen by random chance, we'll talk about that at 1:30, show me how the story of Jesus is a legend, show me evidence is a legend, I will stop believing in God. What evidence would you need? I don't know, crazy. What if Jesus showed up outside your house, hovering in a holy light? You see him. There's 100 scientists observing and studying Jesus floating off the air, right, glowing. They got all the things, stuck on Jesus, measuring everything about him, and it's live streamed around the world on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram. Everything's live streamed, so the whole planet can see this at once. There's like 8 billion witnesses. Would you believe them? No, I would know I was hallucinating. Right? Now that's an extreme case. But the people who say evidence logic, not necessarily, versus the people I go after is the swing voters. People, are you curious if there is a God or not, and is there any evidence? Let's talk about the evidence. Right? And like the way people vote, someone who just loves one political party, they're changing their mind. Just save your breath. Right? You might have evidence, doesn't matter. They can't hear it. So, hope that answers it. Bit of a long explanation.
So, if a scientist says that you need a super advanced civilization to create the universe, and you're saying who created the super advanced civilization, would the scientist not just ask you who created God? Is that not both having to
that's
something happened at some point in time, and either this advanced civilization or God was created from something?
So both of them are confusing to the human mind. So there's mystery on both sides, okay? One, you end up going in an infinite loop of an alien creates an alien, creates an alien, creates an alien, you go back for infinity. That's not logical. The Christian belief, and theistic belief, right, Muslims would agree with this as well, is that there is an uncaused cause, right? There's something eternal. We call that God. That God has always existed. Okay? And that then God then starts. There has to be a start somewhere. So then my question would be, which is more logical? To believe there's an uncaused cause, which is logically coherent, and then they start to cause things, like the creation of the universe, etc., or that there's an alien creating an alien, creating an alien, creating an alien forever. There has to be an alien creating a universe in which then another alien gets created or evolves spontaneously somehow. Then that alien gets so advanced, they create a new universe. But you have an infinite loop going backwards. So both are mysterious. Which one makes more sense? An uncaused cause or an infinity loop of alien creating alien forever?
So I think to the scientists, probably the second one does, because nothing comes from nothing.
Well, it depends which scientists. Again, a long time we say scientists say, well, which ones? Right? Edwin Hubble or Fred Hoyle? Albert Einstein or Stephen Hawking? So it's 43% versus 51%. So the majority of scientists believe there's a higher power. The majority of scientists in the USA believe there's a higher power or a God or something. Right? And so the ones over here that don't believe in God, they're going to have reasons for it. Usually, they reject a negative version of God. Like anti-science God, which like because of the laws of physics. This guy's rejecting a God who's against science. Right? But that in itself, I would argue is unscientific, unhistorical, because that starts with like Copernicus and Galileo, right? Copernicus and Galileo discovered the Earth isn't the center of the solar system, etc., and the church fought them and persecuted them. They recanted their science, right? But here's the problem, though. Who's Copernicus and Galileo? They're Christians. They believe in God, they believe in the Bible. They're Christian believers. The church, where did the church get the idea the earth has to be the center of the universe? Where does the Bible say the earth is the center of the universe? It doesn't. What happened, the early church fathers, religious leaders like me, spent more time reading Greek philosophy than reading the Bible. And from Aristotle, they got these ideas about the universe from pagan Greek philosophy. They baptized it into Christian theology and then persecuted you as anti-Christian if you didn't bend the knee to pagan Greek philosophy. Copernicus and Galileo were not fighting the Bible or belief in God. They were fighting pagan Greek philosophy from Aristotle that the church had embraced. The corrupt church had embraced that. So is that God versus science? Is that God versus science? Christian scientists disagreeing with pagan Greek philosophy. That's not God versus science. As you dig into these things, they crumble. Most of them. Okay? And again, when science teaching will say this, like Neil deGrasse Tyson will say, well, God is all good, all loving, why is there pain? We're going to unpack that later this week. I researched that quote. That quote has a source, just like the Big Bang has a source. We're going to unpack that. We're going to go into it, we're going to do our homework like big boys and girls, and we're going to see that most of the arguments against God are unscientific, unhistorical, based on pseudo-history. Okay? We're going to do it every day. So today we did the Big Bang. Big Bang is not against God, it is for God. Copernicus and Galileo were Christians, Bible-believing Christians, who were not disagreeing with the Bible. They were disagreeing with pagan Greek philosophy from Aristotle that the church had embraced. Does that make sense? All right, let's go to the next question. Are we done? All right,
we have reached our time. Thank you so much, Walter. Let's give Walter a hand. We will have more time later after our next session for some questions. So tuck your questions in the back of your mind and we'll do that. We're going to have a short break now. You can use the washroom, you can go outside and get some fresh air. The kitchen crew is going to bring out a light lunch for us. We're going to eat around 12:30. That gives us roughly an hour or so to enjoy a meal and talking and fellowship. And then we'll come back again for the next session at 1:30. For those watching online, the next session will not be live streamed. It will be here in person at the Caribbean Cultural Center at 600 Wentworth Street. So please come here if you want to join in on the next session at 1:30 p.m. But let's all stand up together and just a quick note for the next session, for the next giveaway, you'll need to get another ticket. Okay? Just keep that in mind. I'm just going to have a short prayer. Dear God, thank you for the session that we've had this morning. Thank you for the knowledge we've acquired. As we have a break, as we enjoy a light meal, we pray that you would bless it.